a few words. My plan was to write a one page for every year to finish number 2 that I believe should have been number 1. That would have been 6 pages. But Sue convinced me to stick to one page. I have a quarter of a page, but it's a very, very small print. But I realized that I'm standing between the band and dinner, so I'll try to be as quick as I can. Today's June 18. Many of you know the number 18 in Hebrew represents high, which also represents the word life. So, the connection is not as simple as met life, life 18, that's cute. I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Life is the one thing that still eludes us. With all the medical technology, with all the medical improvement and the technology, the one thing we still obviously can beat is life. And what you do every day is change people's life. Not just now, but also after. Right? You change people's life with our associates, with our partners, with our clients, and really what you do is build a legacy. Each and every one of you is part of that number 18 tonight, and that's building the legacy of Cypress Financial Group, and I want to thank you for that. Thank you. I want to tell you a quick story. Story is about a nephew named William and aunt named Caroline, and they live across the street from each other. It was in the 1890 in New York. And Caroline was very, very, very successful. She was, a big socialite. All the politicians and the stars used to come to the house for parties pretty much every night. And right next to her was William, and William was a social outcast. And really, nobody invited him to those parties, and he was always very upset. The family was a very rich family, and finally, when they got the family fortune, was about $100 million, 1890. It's a lot of money, still today. When he got that money, he built a hotel with 530 rooms and 970 employees. A huge hotel. At that time was the most magnificent hotel. And as he was building the hotel right next door to Caroline, she was obviously very upset. Couldn't have parties with all the construction. She said, I'm going to take my $100 million and I'm going to build another hotel right next door. So as both hotels were being built, the manager of the hotels got together and got Caroline and William get together and understand that together they're going to be more powerful. Together, they'll be better off than having 2 hotels right next door to each other competing. So William Waldorf and Caroline Astoria ended up building a hotel that most of us know is one of the best hotels in the world, the Waldorf Astoria. And the reason I shared that story with you is coming down to Florida, thanks to Mike in 2004, I remember, the Miami region before I left to Virginia, the constant battle and the bickering, and, I see Nandy laughing, the Plantation and West Palm Beach and Miami and, Fort Lauderdale and Boca, everybody's fighting, and look how much we were able to accomplish together, which I think is a great moral of the story. No more stories, some specifics. When we were at the Leaders Conference, many of us met Ben. Ben is the conductor for the Boston Orchestra, and Ben says that in order to run an orchestra, sometimes you have to give your back to the crowd. And that's really what we did here in 2004 when Mike brought us down, really focusing on doing what's right, not just what's popular. And I appreciate, first of all, you bringing me down here, and then also in 2008 giving us the opportunity to be what Steve called the guinea pig. Now, I always tell Steve the guinea pig usually die, or end up with a lot of really bad experimental lipstick. So let's forget about the guinea pig. But again, thank you for the opportunity, bringing me down here to start it with Gias, Sue, and Susan in the beginning, and with 20 people, and of course this wonderful agency today. 2004, coming down here, I felt that we had a great year pretty much every year since then, which is ironic. We finished number 2, which I think what's really interesting is in 2010, we end up winning Office of the Year. It wasn't really a coincidence. There's the Swedish proverb that talks about the fact that in rough water, is a real test of leadership. In calm water, every ship has a good captain. 2010 was a really, really tough year. And it's the leadership, the infrastructure, the operation, the producers in the firm that make the difference. And really in tough time, you can really tell what you have. And I remember sweating throughout the whole year. The definition of leadership is not showing that you panic. And we panicked a lot behind the building. When we came back to the office, we tried to keep a straight face and keep plugging. And again, finishing a great year in a pretty difficult time. I also say that we suck less than anybody else. That's what we got. In 2010, I learned that, we're tough. It's tough there, but we're tougher and you can keep going. Just when you think you can't go anymore, you know, there's a little bit extra you can put in there. That's really why we did this. I really want to thank again the management team, the operation team, the administration, and most importantly the producer and the spouses, again the legacy that you're building. I want to thank Mike, and Steve for your support throughout the process and believing in us. And last thought, reflecting on 2010, you know, I have to keep reminding myself that everybody wants to end up on top of a mountain, but real happiness and real growth happens while you climb it. 2010 was not the mountaintop. 2010 was merely a milestone in that journey. We have many, many, many more years to go. Absolutely. Please. And I want to, again, remind everybody that yesterday is a history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift, and that's what they call it, the present. Have fun tonight. Enjoy yourself. Open your ties, take off your jacket, and let's party.